gentlemen, welcome to Planet Tyro. You're here with your host, Donald Wonder, and I, as you can see in the title, I'm going to talk about the top 10 Lupin the Third movies. Now, when I say movies, I'm also talking about the TV specials. I'm going to be talking about all the releases that were basically an hour and a half or over, and I'm going to condense them into my personal thoughts on the top 10 or top 12 Lupin the Third movies. So guys, if you don't know, I just finished completing a review on all of the movies, all of the TV specials. You can check the playlist. If you click the YouTube card in the top right hand corner, that I button, it'll bring the playlist up and you can check out every single movie I'm going to talk about and more individually in detail. I've done it for a whole year. Next year we're going to talk about the TV series, but now because I've watched every movie, I feel like I can give my opinion and kind of rank them in how I think they range from, you know, good to great to best to whatever. So that's how I'm going to do it. And before I start, I do want to say, some guy did ask me that, hey Don, since you've watched all the Lupin stuff, the music in Lupin the Third is so epic. Can you talk about the best music in the Lupin franchise? Let me just say this, man. The music in Lupin the Third franchise is just beautiful. I think it was Yuji Ono that did most of the compositions or most of the soundtrack. Guys, I could just get lost in talking about the music, and I don't think I could even whittle it down to a top 10. If you see me do these videos, you see me use a lot of the themes for the intro and the outro, man. The music is phenomenal. I wish I was experienced enough to do a top 20, 30 of the Lupin music, because man, the movies are great, but the music just elevate the movies, and I have to just shout that out before I start. The music is amazing for an animated feature, for anime in general. The music in Lupin the Third, the compositions are great. I don't even want to get into that. So guys, let me stick to the top 10 before I go off topic. Now, this is how I'm going to do this, because I'm not going to do this conventionally and just do a 10 to 9 to 8. What I did was, I didn't pick 10. I picked 12 movies. The reason why I picked 12 is because at the time of this recording, the end of 2016, there's about 30 or odd movies released, and I couldn't just rate the movies on quality because there's a lot of mediocrity through the whole franchise. There's a lot of them that have the same storyline, that do the same kind of heist that we've seen 1,000 times before. So I wanted to do this in groups because it was easier for me to kind of separate the quality that way. So I'm going to do this in like a C grade, a B grade, and an A grade. So it's top 12. We're going to do like 12 to 8, and 8 to 4, then 4 to 1. So 3 grades, and we're going to break it down that way. And of course, we're going to disagree. We're not always going to agree. It's my own personal opinion, but that's how we're going to do it. Easier for me. You can check out the screen. I'm going to put clips of the old things, or you know, some of the old reviews I did. I'm going to use that as basically an illustration to back up my points in most cases. But anyway, links in the description for the playlist. Let's get on with it. And let's start off with number 12, which is ironically going to be the first Lupin movie ever made, which is The Mystery or The Secret of Mamo. They were called both. Let's start with number 12, The Mystery of Mamo. You know what? For the first movie, this is actually pretty good. It still holds up good today for the animation style, the story, the characters. You get a good vibe from it. And watching it now, I got a lot of nostalgia. And even after seeing all these 30 or so movies, ironically, this still stands out as one of the most funnest, the most enjoyable. Maybe it's for the retro feel I'm getting, the music, but this feels like Lupin. This feels like the manga. This feels like these characters, this world, and it has that late 70s vibe to it, and it still holds up to this day, and it still outshines some of the later movies to my surprise. So yeah, the first movie, The Secret of Mamo, is going to be my number 12. Number 11. Operation Return the Treasure. Now, this was made in 2003, and this is a movie that I appreciate for trying something a little bit different. This is a movie where instead of Lupin having to steal stuff, he has to put treasure back. Now, honestly, that could have been the basis of the whole movie, and it would have been a better movie. But they have this other subplot in the background, which isn't very interesting, to be honest with you. But we still get a lot of good character stuff with, you know, Fujiko Goemon and Jigen helping him as usual as his right-hand man. And the Return of Treasure theme is actually, that idea is actually good. It works in the movie and it makes it enjoyable. It makes it stand out. And honestly, this is my number 11 movie because of that. Number 10. The Secret of Haramo's Treasure, I believe it's called. Now, this is a movie that is really goofy, but still it's one of the funniest Lupin movies. It's got an interesting idea with Lupin having to work with this kind of British spy guy, and it's a really good adventure with good action and really good elements here and there. It's one of the more quirky movies, especially with Lupin acting aloof and fighting this crazy powerful person and this cross-dresser woman, but it stands out for its zaniness, for its comedy, for its adventure. There's this bit at the end, at the very, very end, with a character death. I do not like how Lupin replied to that, which still bothers me a little bit, but still, it's a quirky movie that really stands out as one of the better adventures on a whole, and I really enjoyed it because of that, and you know, that's why it's here at number 10. Number 9, 7 Day Rhapsody. This is a movie that, again, doesn't quite change the formula, but I like the narrative because we break up the characters into smaller groups and they all come together at the end. Again, this is a movie that does something a little bit different and makes it more enjoyable on the comedy level, on the story level. It's a very simple story and what's going on isn't mind-blowing, but I love the way everything's broken up. The characters have all these weird interactions, Lupin and Goemon, Lupin and Jigen, Fujiko and Goemon. It's a really fun movie that tries something different and has a really good fun climax at the end as well. It's a fun adventure that does something different, that shakes up a little bit. And again, I just like the narrative of them going their separate ways, doing their own jobs, but coming together. Other movies have done it, but not from the beginning and not in this way, and it stands out to me as the way it was executed. So again, you might disagree with me on that, but I like it. And those first 4 movies, 12 to 9, that's going to be my C bracket for the Lupin retrospective. So let's move on to the next bracket, the B bracket, starting with 1991, Steal Napoleon's Dictionary. This is a movie that would be a lot higher on my list if the animation was good. Now, I know a lot of people are going to complain about me putting this one as high as it is, and maybe it should have been in the bottom, the ranking before. But the reason why, this movie has allusions to Lupin's grandfather, it has the world government after Lupin, it has a race in it, it has a lot of fun factors, it has the team there. I actually think this is one of the better Lupin movies, but I'm aware the animation holds it back. And if you don't like the movie, put aside your thoughts to the animation, because the animation does hold it back. But it is fun with a capital F from head to toe. It's lacking in animation, 1 or 2 things could be here, but it is a fun movie. And if this movie was animated today, it would be a lot more enjoyable, a lot more better. But I'm not going to let that hold it back. This is still one, to me, personally, that stands out in the franchise. Still, Napoleon's Dictionary has a lot going for it. And the comedy with Zenigata and Lupin is pretty fun as well. I don't want to forget to mention that. That is cool. Cool, that's cool. Number 7. With a very cool name, The Dragon of Doom. Now, this movie is a Goemon movie. He's the focal character, and this movie has a lot of ninja action. How can you say no to ninja action? As well as the ninja action, we've still got Lupin and Jigen on the side doing their thing, trying to get the treasure. And this movie is a little bit more serious, a little bit more action-based, but it's still very enjoyable. Goemon, again, takes center stage, and there's a female character that Goemon has from the past. They could have written that a little bit better. That I even said that on the review. That kind of bothered me, but it's a fun movie, a very action-based movie. One of the better movies overall, because again, it's a team movie with Goemon taking center stage, a lot of ninja action, and yeah, I had a lot of fun with it, and that's why I put it at number lucky 7. Number 6, The $1 Money Wars. This is also called The Dollar Wars as well. Now, this is a movie that had a concept I wish they stuck with. And even though they didn't, I still praise the movie because the narrative is a little bit more mature than we usually see. Now, I'm not going to get into too much detail, but basically, near the first quarter of the movie, this is a movie where Lupin fails and Lupin is killed. I'm going to say killed in quotes, obviously, because you know Lupin's not going to die for real. Lupin's killed and the team have to kind of deal with a situation without him. Now, what I wished was that this was a movie that committed to taking Lupin out of it and seeing, you know, Jigen, Goemon and Fujiko deal with this movie without Lupin. They wanted to do it. I don't know why well, I do know because Lupin, I guess he's the main character, but I wish they stuck to that idea. But even though they didn't, this is still a more mature movie. The villain and the princess and Lupin and Goemon and Fujiko come up with this oil heist as well. It's an enjoyable movie. It's definitely one of the better movies easily. They even have a car scene with, you know, Lupin and Jigen in the car. You can't go wrong with that. Honestly, even though I wish they committed to that idea of taking Lupin out of the movie, it's still a better movie. It's still a little bit more mature, a little bit more interesting than the rest. And I really enjoyed the movie. And to me, it's one of the more superior ones in the team ups. And now we get to number 5, which is Jigen's Gravestone. Now, this is a movie that I know a lot of people are going to hate me for not putting this higher, but there's a reason. The animation is great, the action is great, the story is good. My problem with the movie is, it's a simple story and there isn't a lot of depth. This is a rule of cool movie. It's a cool movie, the action's good, it looks good, the story is good, but it doesn't really bring me in emotionally. I actually appreciate the fact that it's short and to the point, don't get me wrong, and the animation's good, and it is what it is. It's a nice, juicy hamburger, but it's not an elegant meal, again, and I can separate, you know, my enjoyment from wanting more depth in this. And there's other movies we're going to talk about moving on that I felt are more superior to this one, but this is one of the more recent movies as well. So, you know, they've learned from a lot of the mistakes in the past. So, you know, I'm not going to give this a blind pass, and I wish there was more story here with Jigen as a character. There really isn't. He just had a job that went wrong and he's being hunted down. And don't get me wrong, the guy that's hunting Jigen is cool as hell. I love the fact that Jigen and Lupin have to kind of outsmart this guy, which is awesome. All of that is awesome. But the meat to the story, the depth, the emotional thing is not there for me. And that's what separates this from the other movies, in my opinion. It's still high on the list. It's just not as high as I know some of you guys might think it should be. But for me, it's still a really good movie. Jigen's Gravestone, definitely a really good movie. One of the best. But, you know, we're getting to the top tier now. We're getting to the A tier now. And then we're going to really see what is the best of the best. Number 4, The Fuma Conspiracy, or Plot of the Fuma Clan. Now, this is another movie that is central to Goemon as a character. Goemon's getting married, his fiancée gets kidnapped, they're trying to get this heirloom from him. This is a movie that, again, like the other movie, Dragon of Doom, ninja, shinobi action, which is awesome. But the movie is also set in Japan, which is awesome, and a different scene for the Lupin franchise as well. Now, the Lupin team are on the side, helping Goemon do his thing, but this is a fun adventure movie, and this movie looks like, it kind of feels like a sequel to A Castle in Cagliostro because the animation looks so similar, and that's because some of the team that worked on Cagliostro has worked on this movie as well. This movie looks good, it has a good story, it's action based, you connect with the story a little bit because Goemon and his fiancée, you want them to get together, and it's a good ride all the way through. I really enjoyed this movie, and so do the fans. This is one that's really highly rated by the fans, and I can see why. Number 3, Island of Assassins. Oh boy, this is a super favorite for fans, and I can tell you why. This is the most serious movie in the Lupin franchise. They take the story seriously, even though it's, you know, a one-off story which doesn't have continuity. The side character, the side female in the story has a sympathetic background. Lupin gets tied up in a situation which he can't make fun of, which he can't turn into a joke, because these people are not messing around. Him and Fujiko are basically being held hostage against their will through life or death, and it's even tied to something in Lupin's past, which has got to do with his gun, the Welver P38, which is also the alternative name for the movie, Welver P38, Island of Assassins. This movie is really good. It's done seriously. It's the most violent with a lot of blood. It's got a story that you actually, I think I connect with this story the most out of all of them, even though there's some movies I like more. This movie is really done exceptionally well from head to toe, and the animation looks good. It's honestly, it's the most mature, serious movie, and it works for Lupin. It's good to take him out of his comfort zone in a very serious situation, and by the end, I was like, that's a good movie from head to toe. Easily one of the best. That's why it's in the top 3. Island of Assassin, really great movie. Down to the last 2, starting with number 2, Episode 0. Now, Episode 0 is a kind of how did the Lupin team get together story. Now, this isn't really a spoiler. By the end of the movie, you don't know if this is the way they really got together. It's kind of implied that this story might not be true, but that doesn't matter because the way the story is told, with each character interacting with the other, getting to know each other, the action, the plot, that is really written really, really well. And I was really impressed how well it was written, how much I enjoyed the character interaction, how I believed this story being, yes, this is how they would get together, this is how they work through it. And I just like that the pace into the movie really took the time to build the relationship between each character. Now, as for Goromon, he does come in closer to the end, which is a little bit rushed, but that's where the comedy for me came in. The action's really good. My only problem with the movie is the animation looks too TV budgety for me. It's good. It was made in the 2000s, so it still looks good than some of the other movies, but I just wish this had a film budget level quality look to it, because I think that's what holds the movie back. It could have been animated a lot better, you know, and it would have been more memorable, but the story definitely trumps the animation, and I was actually impressed. I didn't think an origin story would be this good, and even though we've seen other origin stories in, you know, like the Fujiko series, stuff like that, I think this is superior. I really like it. The pacing is excellent. The story for the characters together is excellent, and by the end, I didn't mind the what if this never happened that way. It didn't matter, because I think this is a really good origin story, and definitely one of my favorite movies in the Lupin franchise. That's why it was number 2. But now we have to get to number 1, which, before I show it, guys, I know it's very predictable. This is everyone's number 1, but I want to say, man, I've seen all the Lupin movies and TV specials, and this one still stands out, and that is obviously The Castle of Cagliostro. The movie that was written and produced by Studio Ghibli, well, not Studio Ghibli, but Hayao Miyazaki before he founded Studio Ghibli. And this movie gets all the praise, gets all the accolades. This was made before all these movies were made, and it's a beautiful story. It's very majestic. There's a problem with this movie that I'll get into in a minute, but it's a beautiful story. It's a standalone story. It feels like a classic animated story. If you didn't know Lupin the Third, it's a great entry point. It just feels like this thief is doing this thing for this princess, and it's really, really cool. The animation is great. The story is really engaging. The characters are likable. Hayao Miyazaki knows how to write characters. He knows how to make you care, and he knows how to bring you into this world of animation and beauty, and it just works so well. And even after me now in 2016 seeing all these movies, this movie still looks and feels great. You know, it's just a testament to how good Hayao Miyazaki is at his work. Now, the complaint for this movie, and now that I've seen all these other movies to this movie, is that Lupin the Third in this movie, A Castle in Cagliostro, isn't really the Lupin from the TV series and the movie TV specials that I've just spoken about before. And that's because in this movie, Castle in Cagliostro, he's more of a white knight. He is very heroic to the point where he feels a bit too heroic. That's been the complaints. Now, at the time I watched the movie, I didn't know that. And only now that I've seen it, I can agree that, yeah, he's a lot more softer than he is in the TV series. He's a lot more sinister. He's a hero, even in the movies and the TV specials and the series. That's right. But in this movie, he seems a lot more dampened, a lot more softer. And I guess some people, some diehards are like, this is not my Lupin. It's just made it too family friendly. And I can agree with that to a point, but that doesn't take away from it being a great story. It really doesn't. It's still a great story, animated well. It's a great entry point to the series. Hayao Miyazaki did a great job. And, you know, I wish Hayao Miyazaki did more Lupin the Third movies. Now, Hayao Miyazaki did contribute to the Lupin franchise after this. If you don't know what I'm talking about, guys, I made a whole video on it. Click on the top right hand corner. I'll put the link in the description and up on the card as well. But Miyazaki came back under a different name. I don't know why he hid his name, but that's neither here nor there. But this is a great movie. This is number 1. I still think this is the best Lupin movie to date. And, you know, I get into this on the review that I did separately. I wasn't a big fan of this movie when I first watched it. I had to watch this movie like twice. I don't think I gave it a chance. Let's be honest, I did not give this movie a chance. And after watching it, I was kicking myself because this movie is an animated classic. Even out of the realm of Lupin the Third, it's an animated classic. The Western audiences love it that I've seen it, and it's a great entry point for the series. I can go on and on and on, but you know what, 30 years later, the movie is still quality, you know, and that is saying something. And I'm very critical, guys. The movie is still the best Lupin movie to date. But I want there to be another movie to dethrone this movie, guys. I really do. I don't want this to be the best movie. I want the franchise to get better. I want it to be better movies, guys. But anyway, that's my top 10, guys. I know it was a long video. Thanks for watching. It probably could have been shorter, but I like to explain myself. And as I said in the beginning, guys, I've actually reviewed every single Lupin movie, TV special. I'll leave a link in the description. I'll leave a link in the YouTube card on the top. I'll probably put something on the screen as well. Check out everything. And we're going to be talking about the TV series, if I haven't already by the time you watch this video, guys. Thanks for all the support. Thanks for everything. And guys, if you disagree with me and you think I'm completely wrong or my placement is wrong, I want to hear it. I love discussing it with you guys. Whether it's the music, it's the movies, you disagree with me, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what your top 10 Lupin the Third movies are. Let me know your order. And let me know why I'm wrong and why I suck. But guys, again, thanks for watching, guys. Hit the links on the screen that you can see now. Give us a thumbs up. And if you like the content on Planet Tyro, please subscribe to the channel. But I'm going to leave it at that, guys. Thanks for watching again. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Peace out.